Welcome to our topic analysis on National Teacher Certification, brought to you by Joshua Tabor, Bart Taylor, and Joe Yu.
I would like to start our topic analysis, Module 5, by defining what is the National Teacher Certification. As many of you may know, the National Board for Professional Teaching Standards is the one who oversees the National Teacher Certification, and it was created in 1987 on the recommendation of the Carnegie Corporation's Task Force on Teaching as a Profession. The board's mandate was to raise the professional status of teachers and the quality of teaching by creating a means to identify and certify the most accomplished teachers. The National Board Certification is known to be one of the most respected professional certification available in education and provides numerous benefits to teachers, students, and schools. It was designed to develop, retain, and recognize accomplished teachers and to generate ongoing improvement in schools nationwide. While teacher licensure systems set the basic requirements for teachers in each state, completion of National Board Certification, or NBC, signifies that teachers have voluntarily gone much farther. National Board Certification teachers have developed and demonstrated the advanced knowledge, skills, and practices required of an outstanding educator. So when the Carnegie Corporation's task force was created, they wanted to simulate and have something in place similar to what medical doctors have. Many medical doctors do get certification. They get a national board certification based on their specialty and concentration. They wanted to create something similar for professional teachers to acquire and get a national board certification. So one may ask, why should educators or teachers consider this type of certification, which requires a lot of work, and the fee for the certification is about $2,500. While the National Board Certification may and will most likely distinguish a teacher or an educator as an accomplished, effective teacher who has met the highest standards in the profession. And according to the National Board for Professional Teachers, in achieving certification, teachers demonstrate to have the knowledge and skills necessary to advance student learning and achievement. Also, the certification opens doors to leadership opportunities and increases teachers' professional marketability, among other benefits. Even before teachers achieve certification, they will be able to apply what they're learning to help students in each and every day. Just to have some insights regarding this certification, I wanted to talk to you about some of the components of this certification. And the certification consists of 4 components. First one is the written assessment of content knowledge. Second, reflection on student work samples. Third, video and analysis of teaching practice. And fourth, documented impact and accomplishments as a teaching professional. Throughout its more than 25-year history, the National Board has sought to review and revise its standards and certification process to reflect best practices in teaching. While throughout the process, the teacher will be able to apply what they're learning in the classroom practice and connect with other teachers pursuing certification. This will help recognize the many demands on teachers' time. The process is designed to be flexible, efficient, and affordable. The National Board has five core propositions that was published in 1989, titled "What Teachers Should Know and Be Able to Do." And this is something that, as educators, we should take some time to reflect. Um, and a document that articulated the National Board's five core propositions for teaching lists all the five core propositions. And the first one is teachers are committed to students and their learning. Second proposition is teachers know the subjects they teach and how to teach those subjects to students. Third, teachers are responsible for managing and monitoring student learning. Fourth, teachers think systematically about their practice and learn from experience. And fifth, teachers are members of learning communities. So, as educators, the National Board certificates must understand and commit to these propositions, and that is what is expected by the National Board. So, as I was investigating this topic, a question came to my mind: are National Board certified teachers better prepared than their peers? Well, Michael Podgorski did an investigation in 2001, and his investigation was to examine a study done, and a study that was funded by the U.S. Department of Education. And the funding was for the amount of $500,000, and the research lasted for 3 years. But after 3 years of research, after the results were presented, the fundamental question remains unanswered: if the National Board certification process a valid and cost-effective way of identifying the nation's best teachers. And based on the study, an investigation by Mr. Podgorski, 2001, there hasn't been a clear-cut answer to the effectiveness of the National Board certification. Although there is no study that shows the National Board certification or certified teachers are better than the peers, some states and districts reward those who obtain them. For example, Los Angeles, teachers are given 15% raise for 10 years. The state of Florida, 10% raise for 10 years and additional 10% for being mentors. Mississippi, $6,000 bonus for 10 years. Iowa, $5,000 bonus for 10 years. And Ohio, $2,500 bonus for 10 years. This slide presents the top 10 states with the most number of National Board certified teachers in the United States. In the top 10, the top state with the most number of teachers with a National Board certification is North Carolina, with over 20,000 teachers with the certification. Florida comes second, with over 13,000 National Board certified teachers. And South Florida, Washington, California, Mississippi, Ohio, Oklahoma, Virginia, and Kansas. And I think these numbers are interesting. And some of the states and school districts provide financial aid for teachers who pursue the National Board certification. And some districts also provide no or very low interest loans for them to pursue the certification. In the state of Texas, national board certification is supported at the school district level in Texas. To date, 854 teachers have achieved national board certification, and Texas ranks in the top 20 in terms of the number of teachers with a national board certification. Some local school districts use federal title monies and or professional development funds to provide fee support to candidates seeking certification. Also, some universities frequently provide graduate level credit to teachers pursuing the national board certification.
There's a variety of teaching programs out there, and that's a good thing because it provides a great deal of opportunity for either people that are coming straight from college into the profession or people that have gone into a different profession and are now wanting to become teachers themselves. So they have a lot of options as to how they can enter the profession. However, with those, because they do have to meet state standards, they should also have a certain level of consistency in their application. And I know through the reading, this is not necessarily the case. In the past, teaching preparation programs have drawn large numbers, but over the last 8 to 10 years, we're seeing a decline in people joining the profession. I've included a number of graphics over the next couple slides just to illustrate that. On slide 12, you'll find one that illustrates Texas specifically. I also do want to draw your attention to the numbers on slide 10. It's showing a concern that is being voiced right now with the lack of ethnic variety in the teaching industry. People are concerned that the only cultural background being taught is from a white perspective. They're trying to find ways now to encourage participation from other minority groups so that students can be exposed to a variety of cultural backgrounds.
To become a classroom teacher in the state of Texas, there are 5 requirements that one must fulfill. The first is obtaining a bachelor's degree from an accredited college or university. There's 2 certifications that are exempt from this, however, the Health Science Technology and the Trade and Industrial Education certifications, because they rely more heavily on work experience. The second step is completing an approved educator preparation program. The third is passing the appropriate teacher certification exam. The fourth is submitting your state application for teacher certification. And finally, once you're approved, all first-time applicants must be fingerprinted as part of a national criminal background check. Alternative certification programs offer a non-traditional route to certifications that may allow teachers to teach while completing the requirements. These programs are located in universities, school districts, education service centers, community colleges, and private entities. The following steps must be taken to receive certification through each alternative certification program. First, decide what you'd like to teach. Then, select an approved Texas alternative certification program. You got to meet the requirements and screening criteria of the programs, develop a certification plan with the program, then obtain a teaching position and apply for a probationary certificate. Then complete all requirements for standard certificate and apply for the standard certificate. The Texas Education Agency issues 9 current technical education certificates. Trade and Industrial, Health Science Technology, and Marketing Education do require work experience. The 9 categories are Agricultural Science and Technology, Business Education, Family and Consumer Sciences, Human Development and Family Studies, Hospitality, Nutrition and Food Science, Health Science Technology, Marketing, Technology Education, and Trade and Industrial Education. All 9 certification areas have differing criteria for certification. Some are offered online, but most require attending a course at an accredited program. There are many approved certification programs, and a list can be found on the State Board of Educator Certification website. They are listed by the Region Service Center. If you hold an out-of-state standard teaching certificate and you're seeking certification within Texas, you must apply for a review of credentials. Once you have completed the review of credentials, you may be issued a one-year non-renewable certificate. While on this certificate, you must complete all appropriate tests to establish a standard certificate. Then you must apply for the standard certificate once all requirements are met.
I personally did not come out of college in education, so I did go through an alternative certification program through Region 10. The program itself did not really prepare me for what I ran into in the classroom. I was lucky that my parents were teachers. My dad was a high school teacher and coach, so they were able to give me advice, and growing up in that house, I had a better expectation than some of my classmates. The program itself gave me decent basic skills, but it did not prepare me for how to be a really quality educator. And I was lucky that I had a good mentor my first year. She was actually my junior year history teacher when I was in high school. But she helped me get organized. She helped me figure out ways to discipline students when necessary, how to run my class so that discipline may not even be necessary, and was just an overall great mentor to me, and it helped shape my ability as a teacher in those early years. Without her, it could have been a number of years before I really got myself on track.
I came from working in the information technology industry, where I did a lot of crazy computer stuff. However, I've had many people tell me that I'd be a fantastic teacher, and when I thought about it, I really wanted to be a teacher, but I never thought changing a career after being committed to something was possible. But one day I was reading the local paper and I saw a job listing for a teaching position, searching for a computer maintenance teacher, and that they would work with a candidate to get certified. They just wanted someone with professional industry experience, and I thought, wow, this is me and this is my chance. So I applied, I nailed the interview, and I was hired, and my life changed for the greatest opportunity that I were given. I was accepted into the Sam Houston State University Alternative Certification Program, and I worked on getting a Trade and Industrial Educator certificate. I worked with Dr. Nita Munns, a professor there who's become my greatest hero and a true model of inspiration for education.
I also entered the public school education through the alternative certification program after graduating with a master's degree in second language acquisition. I had taught for about 3 years, beginning Spanish at the University of Houston. So my only teaching experience was teaching Spanish to freshman students. But entering the public school system through the ACP program, I was just given a middle school textbook, and it was pretty much sink or swim. And I would say that teaching methodology or pedagogical knowledge was not the biggest issue because I was exposed to some pedagogical teaching methodologies. But the number one issue for me was a classroom management and cultural shock. I had never attended a middle school in the United States. I came here when I was 16. I only had 3 years of public school. So coming to and going into a middle school classroom was actually something that I had never experienced in my life. Also, even though I had a master's in second language teaching, second language acquisition, pedagogical background, and all that, classroom management was the key. Managing middle school students, being able to teach a second language, and knowing classroom management is key. I think that's more important than any other information that a teacher could receive. Forget about all those linguistics and second language theories. I think one need to learn classroom management, and I would say that it took me about 3 years to refine, get better, and be better in classroom management, managing middle school students. So I would say that if something is missing in the ACP program, will be to prepare teachers how to manage a classroom, uh, how to manage discipline, how to manage a group of 25 to 35 students.
Thank you for your time and interest in National Teacher Certification.